This is Outnumbered. I'm Harris Faulkner here with my co-host Emily Campagno. Also joining us today, Fox and Friends Weekend co-host and co-host of From the Kitchen Table podcast, which I love, Rachel Campos-Duffy, and Fox News contributor and board-certified physician Dr. Nicole Saphier. And Fox and Friends First co-host Todd Pyro is here. Good to see you all. Let's start with Hunter Biden's latest legal troubles. Just weeks after his sweetheart plea deal fell apart, Special Counsel David Weiss has now unveiled his intention to indict the president's son on a felony gun charge by the end of this month. The charge stemming from Hunter's possession of a firearm while addicted to an illegal substance. He wrote about it in his memoir, so we know it was happening then. But many are now calling out Weiss's investigation for not mentioning the Biden family's overseas dealings. House Oversight Chairman James Comer is demanding the emails from the National Archives, which allegedly do show Joe Biden's involvement in Hunter's business.
I think everybody in America needs to be paying close attention to this. They already tried to sneak something through once. We need to make sure they don't do it again. But look, again, this is the least of all the crimes that Hunter Biden's committed. This investigation has proven that Joe Biden has lied dozens and dozens of times to the American people. We're going to head to court as our subpoenas become more advanced with respect to specific Biden bank accounts and specific Biden correspondence that the National Archives is preventing us from having.
Despite President Biden's constantly denying he has had any knowledge of his son's overseas business deals, the American people feel otherwise. A new CNN poll finds that a majority of Americans, 61%, say they believe Joe Biden was involved with Hunter's foreign dealings while serving as then vice president. Todd.
Before we start giving Mr. Weiss a lot of credit for some legal fortitude, listen to what James Comer said. He had no choice, Weiss, to bring this, because the judge in the case basically said, what's going on with this plea deal? You have to do something with the gun charge, so let's not say, oh, it's an amazing stroke of legal fortitude by bringing this charge. What he should have brought, years ago was the tax charge, but that has been dismissed by the judge because that is the charge that would have gotten Hunter and Joe. We need to always keep that in mind.
So, Emily, is there a way to access that information in an investigation if there's an impeachment inquiry, for instance, on those tax fraud, on that?
Right. Yes, with some limitations and exceptions. And I think that's partly why the argument over the special counsel, the authority attached and the subpoena power of Congress and the limitations of an investigation are so relevant and they're so valid. Andy McCarthy wrote a great op-ed for Fox News, and he pointed out what I think Americans need to keep in mind during this entire smoke and mirrors operation by the special counsel. You say you're going to indict. Why haven't you? Yeah. It's actually a very simple charge. And if any of us were under the gun, no pun intended, it would have gone a lot faster because it's actually quite simple. And when Weiss testified to now the whistleblower that said, oh, well, my hands were tied and I was getting mixed messages. We were getting blocked essentially by jurisdiction saying you can't bring it here, you can't bring it here. It all comes back to that gun charge being actually quite simple and squarely within the Delaware jurisdiction. So when you're hearing from a special counsel, oh, I'm going to do this, it's like your friend that always talks about, I'm going to start going to the gym. Oh, my diet starts tomorrow. Just do it. Because for any other American, he would have already done it, and it would have taken 1 week before a grand jury.
I love how you talk about this.
No, talking about me.
But I love how you put this like it's a New Year's resolution. Like it's an option to have justice in America.
Right. Great point.
Rachel.
So this was the least of the crimes, as you so aptly pointed out, the gun charge. The charges that would lead to Joe Biden have not been brought forward. But let's look also at Comer. So Comer and the Republicans are doing all they can. But our system, Democrats who are in charge of, say, the National Archives, won't hand over thousands of emails that would help lead this investigation, break it wide open and show, Joe Biden's connection. So you go, what else can you do? What else can Comer do? Well, the Republicans could get together and say, we're just going to defund, or at least greatly defund, like reduce the amount of funding to some of these agencies, whether it's the DOJ that is clearly, trying to give maximum punishment for Republicans, including our leading candidate and many of our Republican voters, and then let Democrats off the hook, starting with Hunter, little princeling, but all the way down to, we now see a case that just came, we all are finding out about a protester during the Summer of Love who was an arsonist who lit a building on fire where a father died with 5 children, and he got 10 years, and then a Proud Boy got 22 years. So we have two-tier system of government, of justice, and we need to get to the bottom of this. The Republicans need to do something more than just beg for papers from the departments that have the evidence.
You know, Nicole, what all of this comes down to, and I thought Senator Ted Cruz last hour did such a wonderful job of laying this out, why it's so important to the American people. And you've heard me say it before. I don't care about Hunter Biden and his nasty YouTube videos. I don't care about any of it. What I care about is, did he put his father, then vice president, into a position where he could be bribed, where he could be taken advantage of, or was he maybe promising favors? I mean, that's the part that we need really to know about. It's not about Hunter.
Well, right, but I don't know if we're actually going to see that because they're not investigating that. And I will leave the legal intricacies to Todd and Emily, our in-house counsel here. But as an average voting American, watching this play out right now, what I find the most interesting is that CNN's finally starting to cover this. We went from censoring the entire Hunter Biden laptop and everything to do with Hunter and the Biden family to now we have all of these outlets who are beginning to talk about it. And I think what's starting to happen is you're going to see Democrats increasingly talking about the ties with the Biden families and some of the criminal charges not because they care, but because they don't want Joe Biden to run. A recent AP poll showed up to 70% of Democrats don't want Joe Biden to run. And the only person who's less popular than Biden is VP Harris. So they want to get them out. And so I actually think we might be at a turning point where this may be, the demise of Biden running in 2024 again.
What about the part of the indictment that's potentially coming from David Weiss to Hunter Biden? Will we see the coverage and all of the fascination on the left and its coverage like they have of former President Trump? I'm always curious, how are they going to cover hanging out with Hunter Biden after he's indicted?
I'm going to play contrarian on this. I think the mainstream media is going to look at this and say, this is our opportunity to shut up the Fox Newses of the world because there's a charge brought against Hunter Biden. We can cover it and pat ourselves on the back that we're providing equal coverage, when in reality, I think Emily would agree with me on this, there's a limited chance he's going to see jail time on this charge. And I love the point you made referencing Andy McCarthy's article. If the DOJ was really serious about this, they wouldn't say, hey, we're going to bring it in 3 weeks. They announced it yesterday. They could have brought it yesterday after a whopping 5 years of delay.
What's going on in that gap, real quickly?
The gap is our tax dollars are being wasted while a machine is put in place that is protecting the president's family. Bottom line.
Wow. Okay. Coming up.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.